In this video, we're going to be covering the most frequently asked questions about moving to Portugal. So you'll have the answers so you can make the most informed decision about whether Portugal is going to be the right move for you and how you can move here the best way possible. So one of the most frequently asked questions that I get is the Portuguese property market going to collapse and are prices going to drop here? The answer that I give to all of our clients and people that we speak with is I personally do not believe. If we look at the supply and demand that is on the market, there are many foreigners that are interested in moving here because of the global political environment in many cases. The quality of life here in Portugal is drawing many people here. Therefore, the demand is super high and the actual housing supply on the market is quite low. Now, when you look on sites like Idealista, for example, or big portals, you can see tens of thousands of properties up for sale. But when you specifically look in the exact region that you want for the apartment or house with that specific amount of bedrooms with this view, and you refine the search a lot so you look exactly what you're looking for, there's very, very little on the market. And this is what we run into with many clients and why you need to have an expert working on your side so they can really understand the market and refine your search properly so you're going to find the right property. Now, so long as you find the right property, the Portuguese property market, I believe, is going to raise steadily. We've been seeing it. We had a big influx after COVID where property prices kind of skyrocketed, but now they are on more of a steady growth curve, which I think is very healthy and going to continue for a long time for reasons I mentioned before and for more that I'm going to get to later in the video. But there's not many great places to live, and Portugal is definitely one of them. Another frequently asked question is Portugal safe? Now, all the statistics back up that Portugal is one of the safest countries in the world, and I find this absolutely paramount to a place where I'm going to live and raise a family. So safety is very important, but how do the day-to-day people living here feel? Because of course you can look at all the statistics, but does the environment here feel safe? Now, speaking from my own personal experience, Portugal feels unbelievably safe. No matter what time of the day or night I walk outside, go anywhere, I feel safe pretty much all the time. Now, of course, if you go to major cities like Lisbon and Porto, there are tiny little pockets where I would suggest not going at certain times of the day and, more importantly, the night, because, there are certain people and individuals that can cause some trouble. But for the most part, so long as you're sticking to the majority and vast majority of Portugal, you're going to be in a very, very safe environment. I've never felt safer anywhere because I know the country, I know the areas where to go and where not to go, but I always, 100% of the time here feel safe. And I haven't come across anyone that's had a bad experience in terms of a lack of safety or feeling unsecure in their environment in Portugal. This is fundamental when looking to raise a family or choosing a place to live that you can really enjoy and have the freedom to explore without worrying about something bad happening to you or your loved ones. If you're taking value from this video, then please hit that subscribe button below because it really helps grow the channel. Let's get back to the video. The next question is, what area and region should I live in Portugal? Now, these are two different questions. The area and the region are slightly different to one another. The region are regions like Algarve, Lisbon, Porto, and many other interior regions in Portugal, which will give you a certain lifestyle and accessibility to airports or restaurants, amenities, gyms, all of this. So these are very important things to consider. But let's say you even pick the Algarve to live in, for example. You have many different towns and mini cities within the Algarve, such as Faro, Tavira, Albufeira, Portimão, Lagos. All of these have different lifestyles associated with them. Sure, you're all getting the incredible year-round Algarve weather, but they each have their different lifestyles. You'll have more gyms and better gyms in central Algarve. You'll have beautiful hikes on the west side of the Algarve. And on the east side of the Algarve, you have so many beautiful pockets of history. So these are important things to consider when moving here. And if you're looking to retire, perhaps you want to be near to some excellent golf courses. Now, this is better on the east and central Algarve. Now, of course, you have many on the west as well, so they're all spread out throughout the Algarve. But all very important things to consider when choosing your lifestyle. Now, the same will apply to Lisbon, whether you want to be in the very city centre where you're near the metros and public transport, restaurants, everything like this, or you want to be on the outskirts where you still have the accessibility to get into Lisbon easily, but you don't want the hectic lifestyles that may bring to you. Now, Porto, the exact same will apply there as well, and along with the more rural regions. So it's a very, very important thing to consider when moving here, because they do really tailor to different lifestyles. All of them are beautiful and excellent, but you need to make sure you're going to do this and pick the right location for a successful move. Another question is, will Portugal's slow pace of life work for my lifestyle? I'm moving from a big city. I want to come to Portugal, still have the accessibility that I'm used to having there, but I want it in Portugal along with that relaxed aspect of life. Now, with Portugal, there's always going to be trade-offs compared to where you used to live. If you come from a big city like London or New York, LA, anything like this, you may be losing some access to amenities. They're more family-orientated, laid back for the most part. Of course, there's some incredible success stories out of Portugal, but in general, you're going to have a slower pace of life here. If you are coming from a big city and you still want that, then going to a place like Lisbon or Cascais, just to be slightly outside of Lisbon, may be your best bet because you still do have access to a lot of it. But if you're going to go to a more rural place or even the Algarve perhaps, the year-round environment in these places are quite quiet and laid back. So I would be cautious about moving here from a big country. Definitely come here for visits, spend a couple of months at a time perhaps in different locations like Porto, Lisbon, Algarve, as those are going to be the more populated places. I personally love the slower pace of life here. I think you can have a great balance of finding a community or shared workspaces where you can have that atmosphere of people going and striving for more, but you can also enjoy your weekends, go for a beautiful vineyard tour, or go to the beach, go for a surf, go play a round of golf. There's so many different aspects to the Portuguese life that you're really not missing anything, and you can get the best of every single world here. So definitely come out, explore, spend a couple of months or a month here at a time so you can really find what's going to be the best fit for you. Is Portugal a good place to move with a family or raise a family? Now, I don't personally have a family or kids yet, but I have seen with many of the clients that we've worked with and people who we're friends with here that Portugal is a fantastic place to raise a family. You have a beautiful quality of life. It's very safe, as I mentioned before. Schools are excellent. You have an abundance of international schools, and you also have the national Portuguese schools that you can put your kids into. You have national and private Portuguese schools. This is an interesting conundrum when you come to it if you are schooling your kids here, whether you want to put them in an international school or you want to put them in a private or public Portuguese school. I personally recommend putting them in a Portuguese school for 1 or 2 years so they can pick up the language, and then perhaps you can transition that into an international school. Speaking Portuguese is a very important skill and one of the biggest ones you're going to take out from the education here. There are fantastic schools in Algarve, Lisbon, Porto that we can help you set you up in each one of these locations. Again, I would recommend coming out on a scouting tour because it is an important aspect of life and how it's going to be orientated around your own life as well. So do come out to Lisbon, Algarve, Porto, explore some of their national, private and international schools so you can really get immersed into whether it's going to be a good fit for you and your family. Now, another thing going on from this is the sports lifestyle and heritage they have here. Portuguese are very into their sports and outdoor sports, especially because of how incredible the weather here is year round. For example, I have played a lot of tennis in my life here, and it's a fantastic place to do it. Football, all outdoor sports, and I am a big proponent for kids getting immersed into sports. I think it teaches them a lot of lessons. So here is a fantastic place for that. Another important factor to consider, not just the region and area you're going to live in, is how to pick the perfect home. Now, whether you're looking for a house, apartment, townhouse, it's a very important factor to consider. And if you started your research into places to live, then you'll see that it's complicated to understand what is on the market, what is a good budget to be looking for, whether you're overpaying, whether it's a scam listing. Because if you look on portals such as Idealista, they're very unregulated. We don't have the same system like an MLS as you would find in the US. So you really should be working with an expert real estate agent that can walk you through everything to make sure you're going to make the right purchase for that fits your lifestyle, and also a good investment as well. Because of course you want, when you're putting that much money on the line and it's a big financial investment, perhaps the biggest purchase you're ever going to make, it's fundamental that you're making the right one. So having a real estate agent that's going to walk you through your lifestyle aspects, how close you are to amenities, how close you are to schools, and so on and so forth, but also picking the right investments so you're not overpaying. This is something that we can help you with. We're an exclusive buyer's agency here in Portugal that works for you, the buyer, and only you. So we can tailor the searches, the virtual tours, setting you up with your visas, NIF, bank account, everything you can imagine and more, we can help you with. So if you are interested in hearing more about that, you can click the first link in the description below to book a free call with me or a member of our team. I look forward to seeing you there, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.